The Holy Scriptures declare, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is nobody who is absolutely righteous in this world. All of us commit injustices. All of us are unfair at some point, even not wanting to be. This is part of our fallen nature, of our sinful nature. And as much as you want to do what is right, inevitably, without noticing it, you end up doing what is wrong and committing injustices. We are inserted in this world. And two things that you should do with this information. Let's go. The first thing you should do with this information. There is none righteous, no, not one. You can find it on Romans 3, verse 10. What is the first thing to do with this information? The first thing is that you need to understand that if there's a certainty in life, is that you will suffer injustices. Even not wanting or wanting, you will also commit injustices. You need to make peace with this. You need to make peace with the fact that we live in a world that there is none righteous. Can you understand what this means to your life? This means that you will face injustices in your own home by people that you love, and they love you, and even more at work, in school, in your neighborhood, anywhere. You can face injustices because you are surrounded by unfair people, and you also belong to this group of people. You are unjust, whether you like it or not. We can speak about levels of injustice. Some are more than the other, yes, but in the end of the day, we are all unrighteous. And injustice is the normal standard of this world. You can look around and you will see injustices that are social, economical, emotional, family injustices, in the business, political injustices. You can even see injustices in the church, even in the church, because the church is formed by who? Guess who? Yes, by unrighteous people. People who, not all of them, just some of them, were justified and saved. They are saved, and they are aiming to live under God's justice, but still flawed. And not even counting the ones who are in the church and are not saved. So even in the church, you can face injustices, regardless of where you are. You need to make peace with this fact, because you will be bitter, filled with anger. You will have a vigilante complex. Do you know what is a vigilante complex? Are those people who take guns and randomly shoot people. This is the extreme of a vigilante, trying to do justice, and these people usually justify their acts. How? If you take the stories of people who killed innocent people, supposedly innocent because nobody is, but let's say that they are innocent because they had nothing to do with their pain. If you ask, why did this person randomly kill people? They would tell you a story of injustices that they faced. I was mistreated by my parents. I suffered bullying at school. So they would tell their pains that came from injustices. So the pain of injustice came out in such a way that they committed a greater injustice. What is worse? For you to suffer bullying at school or to be shot in the head and die. So they were trying to express their anger because of the injustices they faced and committed an even greater injustice. These are the people who don't understand that the world that they live in, they accumulate within anger, desire for vengeance. And as I said, in the extreme, they take justice in their own hands, and usually when you make justice with your own hands is the apex of injustice. So if you don't make peace with this, you will become a bitter person with a long face, someone who always will answer rudely, who will look down on others because you are hurt by the injustices you faced. That's why God established in His wisdom forgiveness. We must forgive not because people deserve, not because those who did wrong things towards us deserve to be forgiven, but because we need to have peace. We don't need to be consumed by the evil done against us, otherwise this evil never ends. So when they hold a grudge, the evil never ends. The event happened, they held a grudge, and now the evil that happened prolongs for as long as the person holds the grudge. But when the person forgives, they cut off the power of the evil over their lives. You remove the power of evil when you forgive. So it's a matter of intelligence and treating you well and not treating badly the other who hurt you. Make peace with the fact that you live in a world where there's none righteous. No, not one, including you. So our nature is flawed, fallen, even trying to do what is right. Not always we manage to accomplish that. How often you started a year, a week, a day, a job, and you said, I will do everything right. And you only reached day 2. You only managed to do everything right up to day 2. And later you stumbled. So don't demand from others what you cannot give. This is the first thing we must do with this information. There is none righteous, no, not one. The second thing that we must do with this information is, if there's no righteous, and if we are all unrighteous, if you are unrighteous, if I am unrighteous, think with me. How will we enter heaven? How will we pass through God's judgment if all of us commit injustices? So what you need to do with this information is to understand that even though in this world there's nothing you can do to change this scenery, you will not only live in this world. When you close your eyes and die, your soul will go on, and there will be a destination, either of injustice for the rest of eternity, or finally you will find justice. If only you can receive, remember that I was speaking about forgiveness, if you can receive God's forgiveness for your injustices, then you will be able to enter the place of justice, which is heaven, the perfect justice. But if you didn't want to forgive on earth, how will you be forgiven in heaven? Remember the Lord's Prayer, forgive my debts as I forgive my debtors. You haven't forgiven your debtors, how will you ask the Father to forgive your debts? So start to practice forgiveness down here, and also believe in the only righteous one who lived on earth, who died being righteous. That's why death couldn't hold him. Jesus died with no sin, no flaws, and because the salary, the wages of sin is death, Jesus died not being a sinner, so death couldn't keep him. That's why he resurrected, as he was the only righteous one who lived and died with no sin, and that's why he resurrected and lives until today, and he took upon himself the sins of those who believe in him, and if you put your faith in him, you will also be able to be free from all your injustices, and in the end, to receive God's forgiveness and to enter the place of perfect justice. And there will be no more tears, no more injustice, there will not even be memory of the injustices we faced on earth. But you must do something about it. It's not only to be aware of this information. You need to believe in Jesus and say this prayer. Say with your own mouth, Lord Jesus, I believe in you. I accept your sacrifice on the cross for me. Teach me to live according to your words. This is not to be a religious person, to follow a religion, but to follow God Himself. Do this. Otherwise, you also can face judgment. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.